For me, just that was one slap. When I heard him, say that she dialed him in.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Samson Dauda and his former coach Milos Sarcev and that whole controversy on who was actually coaching Samson in that post-Olympia tour, specifically Romania Pro and Prague Pro. Because after the Arnold Classic Ohio, Samson Dauda made this statement that his wife was actually the one coaching him or calling the shots for Prague and Romania. So if you guys watched the latest episode of Cutler's Cast, that is available on Jay Cutler's YouTube channel. So that episode was released less than 24 hours ago, and you will see a lot of negative comments regarding how things ended with Samson Dauda and Milos Sarcev. Particularly that one incident where Samson Dauda quoted that his wife coached him for Prague, and he did not mention Milos Sarcev in that sentence.
But for Romania and for Prague, I was on sleepless nights on the phone, texting, calling, the
like you do with all, because I see it too.
Yes. So for me, just that was one slap. When I heard him, say that she dialed him in.
So Milos once again here had a different point of view, and not only just that, it seemed like that statement did damage Milos' reputation as a coach. And Milos at one point during this podcast, he also mentioned this, that he as a coach failed to motivate Samson Dauda to dig deeper in order to get more condition, in order to get more crispier, in order to bring that next level of conditioning that the judges wanted to see on this guy. The conditioning that wasn't needed to beat guys like Derek Linsford or Hadi Chopin or even Nick Walker. So maybe Milos wanted to cut more carbs from Samson's diet. And maybe that was the reason they had this agreement, and that was the point, which eventually led to their breakup.
As a coach, I guess I failed to motivate him to dig that deep. And that was the thing. I tried to make him suffer several times, and there was no... I didn't succeed, basically.
I know,
but again, I have to say, at the end of the day, isn't that what his wife also did from Ohio to UK? Samson and his wife's plan for the UK was to suffer harder, to take in as low carbs as he possibly can. And he suffered like anything, and that finally worked. We saw Samson Dauda in the best shape of his entire life, where he literally got first place votes by some of the judges, against a champ like Hadi Chopin. That happened for the very first time in his career.
I listened a little bit of a Fuad podcast that he said that Marlena, his wife, made him suffer,
So Samson and Milos working together is history now. But at some point, these guys will need to clear the air. So Milos is still a big fan of Samson's physique. And it is great to see that he did not change his stance about Samson being the potential future Mr. Olympia.
I watch him pose. We told him what needs to do next. As a team,
it was no different than any
it's
other
no
show.
difference.
But you weren't present.
I was not present.
She
Yeah,
was
but
there.
I was not present in Egypt or first 5 shows that I prepared him. So by all means, I don't want to say anything wrong or bad,
not
but
negative,
I
no.
do like just to explain when somebody would challenge me and say, "Oh, you didn't even do it." Oh, of course I did it.
Because I'm going to say this because I saw comments.
Yeah,
Milos
so,
didn't really coach him, and I was like, wait a minute. Yes, he did.
This stinks a little bit.
So I would not have brought this topic up again if it wasn't for this new episode of Cutler's Cast. Because for those of you guys who actually watch my videos, they know I rarely post any controversial stuff. But I had to cover this episode because there were some interesting comments made. And I seriously believe that both these guys, Samson and Milos, they are an asset for bodybuilding. And they need to clear this air.
And I don't know, maybe they would want to... I'm always open for discussion.
Of course.
Public discussion, by all means.
Next up, I have the current physique update for you guys of Dennis Wolf. So people are always curious regarding how some of these guys look post-retirement, after stepping away from the stage, after stepping away from competitive bodybuilding. Because compared to their prime, they are eating very little amount of food. Which is something you guys must have noticed that almost all the retired bodybuilders agree. That they do not have to feed themselves after every 3 or 4 hours. Because that becomes kinda torture. So with the minimum food, they are also on the minimum possible gear. So here is Dennis Wolf for you guys, his 6th year into retirement, and he is 45 years old. The Arnold Classic 2018 was the last show that he did, after coming back from a very serious injury. But as a Dennis Wolf fan, I am glad that he realized that he needs to walk away from professional bodybuilding in order to take care of his health. Because that Dennis that we saw in 2018, That was quite different from what he looked like during his prime. Everything was downsized, and not only just that, his lower back was just gone, and that is why he was unable to make top 6 in that show. So how great Dennis Wolf was back in his prime, when he was at his peak. So you have got to go back and look at the footage of Dennis Wolf versus Phil Heath, from 2013 particularly. The show that I am talking about is the Arnold Classic Europe, which was post-Olympia. And keep in mind, 2013 was that year, when Phil Heath was so damn dominant that he was sent back in line after just one round, because everyone else was just fighting for second place. So that Arnold footage just goes to show you how big Dennis Wolf was, how wide this guy was. And it was kinda too bad that he came into his own in the era of Phil Heath and Kai Green. Otherwise, he would have been a Mr. Olympia for sure. So Dennis Wolf right now looks a lot more healthy, a lot more athletic. So the kind of body fat that he carries year round, that goes to show you that he eats very clean most of the time. Truly one of the best bodybuilders we have ever seen in the last decade or so. Are people sleeping on Hunter Labrada? We have never seen him this big and this round during the off-season, and that too with that kind of body composition. And what's even more impressive is that he has kept things so tight. Because this is his growth phase. This guy is in the off-season right now. And this is how ideally it should be. And you guys should definitely check out his latest YouTube video. His arms are exploding like crazy in that video. It's not just his arms. There is just so much muscle on that frame this year. He is looking bigger than ever. I think Hunter might shock a lot of people this year. He posted an interesting throwback from 2020. That year he made his Olympia debut. It is really unbelievable that Hunter is gonna be roughly 20 plus pounds heavier than that package, but still with those same lines. For those of you guys who are wondering, he is 290 plus pounds right now. And that is an unbelievable condition to be in, that too at the peak of his off-season. But I still think he's gonna continue the growth phase for a few more weeks before starting the official prep. So last year we saw a totally different and improved back at Tampa Pro and Texas Pro as well. And with his current trajectory, we are about to witness the best Hunter that is gonna grace the stage. So like I said before, Hunter still has a couple of months of push phase before his coach gives him the green light to start the prep and pursue the Olympia qualification. So I think it is gonna be a good year for Hunter Labrada. But do let me know what you guys think. I am super excited to see the youngest men's open IB pro from Spain, Jose Manuel, aka Josema Beast. How will he do against some of the best in the pro league right now? Because this guy is roughly 12 weeks out of Empro Classic Spain, which is gonna be his first show of 2024. A show where he's gonna go up against the likes of Michal Krizo, Behrouz Tabani and Andrea Presti. So Jose made his pro debut last year at that same spot, and he placed top 4 at Empro Classic Spain. So this guy is so young, he's just 21 or 22 years old, and his shapes just keeps on getting better and better. That front lat spread and how that wrist is looking right now, how that wrist totally disappears, that looks so damn good. So unlike many pros who have this commonality of having a weak back, because we have seen this so many times, people are so good from the front, but they are lacking in their back development. But that isn't the case with this guy. Even at such a young age, he has a very combative back. And even last year at Empro Classic Spain, it looked so combative with Michal Krizo, who by the way won that show. So now with guys like Behrouz Tabani and Krizo shooting for that show again, Jose is going to be lacking muscularity, especially in comparison to these guys. But if he gets in that first call out and gets compared with these guys, that is going to be a good data on what to work on later during the year. So he has a long career ahead. And sooner or later he's going to step on the Olympia stage. Sooner or later he's going to win his first pro show and qualify for Mr. Olympia. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.